Follow along as I rip apart these two beautiful banjos so that I can move my Cavanjo pickup from my old Gretsch that I've been playing for about 15 years now onto my new Deering Eagle 2. I could have done this quite a long time ago, but I've been putting it off because honestly I'm quite anxious about doing any damage to the banjo as it's so beautiful and it sounds amazing. But now's the time to do it because we've got gigs coming up this year and I really need to just bite the bullet. So to start off with, I got through the Gretsch really quickly. I've taken it apart before, I know what I'm doing, and I'm not really worried about damaging it, but this is the moment where I started on the Deering, and honestly at this point the anxiety was killing me and I just didn't want to get started with it. Even though I've been playing banjo for almost 2 decades now and I've taken them apart multiple times, the differences between these two instruments was actually quite surprising, and it really slowed me down just having to be quite meticulous about when I took something off the Deering to understand what I've taken off and where it goes, and to place it in a place that was sensible. So I've actually had this Cavanjo pickup for quite a long time now, and I've never really given it much care or love, and as you can see it's quite grubby. So since it was off the instrument, I asked my wife Kaylee to kindly look at scrubbing it down. So she used a very lightly damp cloth and just gently scrubbed it away and took the edge off of it. But I'm actually really happy with how it came out. It looks really clean now. Interestingly, the build quality on the Deering made it quite a lot harder to work with than the Gretsch, just because everything on it is built so well, and it's actually not, a lot of it's not fixed down, it's floating. So it meant that anytime you took anything off, you had to really understand how it was placed and what held it in the correct place for when the banjo was back together. So here I'm just getting the head of the banjo into place, getting everything lined up, and then I'm going to use the ring to hold everything into place. And then at this point, now that it is in place, I'm going to look at the wiring, which is actually quite simple on a build like this. So when you look at the back, it's just a couple of wires, and the most important thing is I've just got to get the earth wire done correctly and make sure that the jack input is secure. Once that was done, it was time to go around the rim of the banjo and tighten up all of the bolts that sit around the rim, which handle the tension of the head. This is really important to get this right because it controls a lot to do with where the bridge sits and how the instrument plays when you're playing it. So I took quite a bit of time to make sure that I was happy with how this was set up. When I was doing the saddle, it was really important to make sure that was in the exact right point, because otherwise notes will sound different or be out of tune at different points on the fretboard. And then generally speaking, it was just going around and making sure there were no horrible rattles and the instrument sounded and felt like it should do at this point, basically fine-tuning everything. I am really happy with how this turned out though. It took about twice as much time as I was expecting, just because when I got to the Deering, I really did have to slow down and take my time and really be methodical about things and make sure I wasn't doing any damage. But yeah, it seems like I was able to get all the bolts back into the right positions without doing any major damage to the instrument. It's still looking beautiful, it's still sounding great, I'm still absolutely in love with it. So yeah, I hope it was enjoyable watching along as I anxiously destroy two of the most important items that I own, and I'll see you next time.